There's a man in your life who acts strange around you. Sometimes he's warm, sometimes distant. Sometimes he looks like he wants to say something, but stops. It feels confusing. But what if the truth is simple? He's secretly crazy about you, but fear is stopping him from showing it. Let's uncover the signs most people completely miss. There was a girl who once said something interesting. She told her friend, "I don't understand him. He treats me differently than everyone else, but he never says how he feels." Her friend smiled and replied, "Maybe he already did, just not with words." Because when a man truly likes someone but fears rejection, his behavior starts revealing what his mouth won't say. Here are 12 subtle signs psychology often notices first. 1. His attention finds you in every room. You walk into a room full of people. Conversations are happening everywhere, phones are in hands, laughter fills the space. But somewhere in that crowd, his attention quietly shifts. Without realizing it, his eyes search the room, and somehow they land on you. Not once, not by accident, but again and again. You might catch him looking for a second before he quickly looks away, pretending he was focused on something else. Maybe he suddenly checks his phone, talks to a friend, or looks at the floor. But if you observe carefully, you'll notice something interesting. Even when he's talking to someone else, a part of his awareness is still tracking where you are in the room. If you move, his eyes eventually follow. If you laugh, he instinctively looks to see what made you smile. Psychologists often say attention is the first place where attraction reveals itself. Because when someone secretly likes you, their mind keeps pulling their focus back to you, even when they're trying not to show it. 2. He listens differently when you speak. Now imagine you're telling a simple story. Maybe it's something small, how your day went, a funny moment at work, or something that annoyed you earlier. For most people, conversations like this are casual. They nod, say a few words, and quickly move on. But when he listens, something feels different. He isn't just waiting for his turn to talk. He's actually paying attention. The way your tone changes, the small details in your story, even the emotions behind your words. You might notice him remembering things you barely thought were important. Something you mentioned weeks ago suddenly comes up again in conversation. That's when you realize he wasn't just hearing you that day. He was absorbing everything. Psychologically, this happens because when someone secretly likes you, your voice naturally becomes more important to them than the noise around them. To everyone else, it was just a conversation, but to him, it was a moment worth remembering. 3. His confidence suddenly drops around you. He's relaxed, confident, talking freely, laughing without hesitation. Conversations seem effortless, and he looks completely comfortable being himself. But then you walk into the picture, and something subtly changes. Suddenly, his words slow down. He becomes a little more careful with what he says. Sometimes he even pauses mid-sentence, as if he's thinking twice before speaking. You might notice small signs of nervousness too. A quick smile, an awkward laugh, or him fixing something on the table just to avoid eye contact for a moment. At first, it might seem strange. Why would someone confident suddenly become slightly awkward? But psychology explains this clearly. When someone truly cares about how you see them, the pressure to make a good impression increases. They start analyzing their words, their behavior, even their body language. So that sudden drop in confidence isn't weakness. It's often a subtle signal that your opinion holds far more power over him than he'd ever admit. 4. He tries to hide how much he notices. You change something small, a hairstyle, a new outfit, and somehow he notices immediately. But instead of openly complimenting you, he might casually say, "You look different today," because saying too much might reveal too much. 5. He creates excuses to be close to you. The question he asks doesn't really require asking. The conversation topic appears out of nowhere.
The reason is simple. Sometimes the easiest way to be close to someone is to pretend there's another reason. 6. His mood changes when you're around. When you arrive, his energy lifts. When you leave, something in his expression fades. Attraction doesn't always shout. Sometimes it quietly changes someone's emotional atmosphere. 7. He tries to impress you without making it obvious. He may suddenly work harder when you're nearby, speak more confidently, show a better side of himself, not because he's pretending, but because your presence activates his best version. 8. Silence with you feels different. Most people fear awkward silence, but when someone secretly likes you, even silence feels meaningful. He may sit near you without talking much, yet he doesn't rush to leave, because sometimes being close is enough. 9. He gets slightly protective. Nothing dramatic, but small things appear. He checks if you're okay. He notices when someone bothers you. It's subtle, but consistent, because emotional attachment often triggers protective instincts. 10. He overthinks his actions around you. You might see him replay conversations, wonder if he said something wrong. Someone who doesn't care never thinks twice, but someone who secretly likes you analyzes everything. 11. His friends know something. Sometimes the real giveaway isn't him. It's the way his friends react when you appear. They exchange looks, they smile, they tease him when you're nearby, because secrets rarely stay secrets in a friend group. 12. He's warm, then suddenly distant. This is the most confusing sign. One day he's engaged, smiling, interested. Another day he seems quiet or distant. That push and pull often happens when someone is fighting their own feelings. Part of him wants to get closer. Another part is afraid of what might happen if he does. The truth is, when someone secretly cares about you, their feelings rarely stay perfectly hidden. They leak through small behaviors, through attention, through nervous energy. So if you notice several of these signs from the same person, chances are his silence might not mean lack of interest. It might mean he cares more than he's ready to admit. Now I'm curious, which of these signs have you personally noticed before? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed discovering the hidden psychology behind attraction and human behavior, make sure you subscribe, because the next video might reveal something about someone in your life you never realized before.